Bees, one of God's amazing creatures. Without bees, plants would not be pollinated, nor would there be delicious honey to eat.
The way that I got started in beekeeping was I joined a local beekeepers club, and I joined the beekeepers club and they offered a scholarship. I applied for the scholarship, had to write an essay, and I actually won it along with a few other students. And what it included was a free beehive, the tools to go with it, the box and all the equipment that was needed, and then a tutor. But for starting your own hive, it's pretty much the same deal. You can join a local beekeepers club, which is highly recommended. They have lots of intelligence there. Great for starting your own beehive, very helpful. You can purchase bees, and Beekeepers Club will be very helpful for that because we get our bees from Louisiana.
As for choosing your location, you may now set up your hive. A friend is very nice to have in this time because some of the hive parts are very heavy.
The equipment you will need before messing with your bees is a suit, boots, gloves, and veil.
So with the three types of bees in the hive, the worker bee is the one that there's the most of. And with the worker bee, they have a lifespan that generally can go up to 3 months during the winter, but during the summer it's only from 4 to 6 weeks. And once they hatch out, they first become a nurse bee. And as a nurse bee, they do that for about 1.5 to 2 weeks. They go through, they clean out the hive. After they have been a nurse bee for that time period, they become a guard bee at the entrance of the hive, and they only are a guard bee for 1 to 3 days just because there's so many new bees hatching out that they don't need a whole bunch of guard bees there for a very long period of time. After being a guard bee, they become a worker bee, and that's what they spend the rest of their life doing, going out collecting pollen and nectar and bringing it back in to make honey with it. So the drone is the boy bees in a hive.
He's the only guy.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them, but yeah, they're
Right.
the only guys in the hive. They do no work. Their sole purpose in life is to mate with a queen, and as soon as they mate, they die. Other than that, they sit around and eat, and they are so helpless that they have to be fed, otherwise they will starve.
And they also can't sting, that's why I'm letting him run around in my hand. So this is the queen. You notice that she's a lot longer, and she has to be a lot longer because she lays, like Paul said earlier, up to 2,000 eggs a day.
Which covers both sides of one of the regular frames.
Right. But that's her job. And there's only one of her in this entire hive.
She's there. We know she's their queen because otherwise they would have attacked her the instant she touched it. So.
That's true. They have a specific, that's another unique thing about the queen. The queen lays eggs, but she also has a pheromone that holds the whole hive together. Pheromone is like a scent. And so she releases that from her abdomen. And because she does that, the rest of the bees all know that she's there.
How often a year do you harvest the honey?
We generally do it once every 2 years, maybe.
So how much honey do you get when you harvest?
Oh, well, per hive we harvest 1 to 2 gallons up to 12 gallons.
During early spring, the bees they're obviously waking up from their hibernation. So they'll go out and they'll start getting nectar and they'll start making their honey and putting it in these supers. Once they've filled up these supers and they've capped it over like we showed you earlier, we'll take it out, brush off all the bees, and then take it down to our basement. And that's where the extracting process starts. We'll take out the frames, scrape off those cappings, and then we'll stick them in a big barrel. And using centripetal force, when we spin those frames, it slings the honey out on the sides, and then it flows down to the bottom through a few different sieves, and then it comes out like this.